Duke comes in with a record of 31-1, 18-0 in the conference. North Carolina, 24-8.
Defense by Duke. Here's the Avery Cota matchup that we talked about.
Cota drifts to the right, elbow, gives it back up top.
Owens had an outstanding game yesterday. Be interested to see if he can make those jump shots against Carrollwell.
Here's his first shot, and he gets the roll. You're right, he had 23 points, 4 rebounds. He was 11-12 from the line, and makes his first one here this afternoon.
I think it's important that North Carolina keep the pressure on Duke by scoring offensively.
With a rebound. Takes it back up with a short jump.
And Battier going to pick up the foul.
Over top of Oklahoma.
Elton Brand, we saw him do that yesterday, Tim. He would get the ball in close to the basket, and the ball would be bouncing off the back rim. And North Carolina, I think, again, the most important kind of pressure that they can apply today is offensive pressure. And they apply that pressure by scoring, forcing the Blue Devils into a situation where they have to score to keep pace.
Good movement for North Carolina offensively. This is Owens.
Really wants to push the ball when they can.
2-0 Carolina. This is Battier for 3.
It's going to make it difficult to guard that screen on the top. And Battier is going to step off the screen and hit the 3.
Battier did not play last Saturday night against Carolina with a bad ankle. Oklahoma takes it in the paint. Air ball, little below to Duke.
Shane Battier, a guy who's really stepped up his offensive game. You see him getting pushed there by Cota, just steps back off the screen that he set against Cota. Lang not very close, and he drills it.
Avery throws up the brick. It's Duke. Here comes Carolina.
Entirely on the perimeter thus far, except for the offensive rebound and the putback attempt by Elton Brand.
It's Lang with a jump hook. This one's good, and Carolina leads by 1.
Lang can go with either hand on the inside, Tim, but he's much better with the right hand. And if you're going to let him catch the ball that close to the basket, he's going to score right away. And man for North Carolina.
Baghetti from beyond the arc. Yes!
Make 3-point baskets. You stay pretty much on the perimeter. You okay?
Back inside the line. The jump hook again. Splash.
Duke's going to have to do a better job of making it tougher for Lang to catch the ball. Battier is going to have to try to push him off that spot.
3 more from Battier.
Looks like we're going to have some offense in this game today. Battier trying to play on the side of Lang, making it harder for him to catch the ball.
Owens screen. Duke's on the run. Avery takes it himself and backs it in.
Nice play by Avery, but Owens got back in good fashion. That was almost going to be a dunk for Carrollwell, but Avery wasn't able to make the pass because Owens got in pretty good position.
Avery's first pass. Avery was in to take a shot. They double it. Oklahoma. Good hustle by Owens. Fires in the paint and hits.
Owens really brought his offensive game to his team. Nice defensive play by Owens that time to keep Carrollwell from the bucket.
By 3. They would not take that shot. He needs help.
Battier really working hard against Lang down on the inside. That's where North Carolina has gone a couple of times. There's Haywood jumping over the back of Elton Brand, and that's what Gilbert McGregor was talking about in the game. He's got to be smarter than that.
15:57 to play first half. 15:57 to play in the first half. Duke leads by 3. Our research department has gone to the stacks in the back of the filing room to find this.
Tim, it's very interesting. You talk about the effect of the ACC tournament on college basketball. That 1982 North Carolina-Virginia game is one of the main factors in changing the game to where we now have the shot clock. That was the last final that was pre-shot clock. Of course, a great North Carolina team of Worthy and Jordan and Perkins, and Virginia with Ralph Sampson, and scores.
Maggette pushed it hard, got it to Brand. Now they bring it back out and reset. Good coverage by Carolina, but still Battier comes up with a running one-hander, fights for the rebound, and gets it back.
With Haywood out of the game, North Carolina not quite as dominant on the inside. And Battier taking advantage of Bursticker and just taking him right to the goal.
Bucket counts. He'll go to the line.
And Haywood is sitting on the bench because he picked up that one foul early, jumping over the back of Elton Brand. They need to have the big guy available in the game, but Battier, with a nice move, he showed you the three-point basket before, just used his quickness to get position, used his body to maintain position, and then got the ball up to the basket to do the foul.
Can't get the roll, however, on the free throw, and so here comes Carolina.
Carolina pushes the ball quickly into the offensive zone. They did a great job of that yesterday, playing in transition against Maryland when they wanted to.
Owens, rather, so dangerous.
Now, Owens doesn't want to spend a lot of time, I don't think, fiddling around with the basketball.
Then Cota checks the shot clock, it's down to 10, takes it himself. Goes to Bursticker.
And Bursticker calls the foul. And that is Ed Cota at his most dangerous. It's very important for a defender to try to keep Ed Cota in front of him, because when Cota penetrates, the defense has to come to help. There's Battier going to help out. Bursticker, the guy Battier's guarding, just goes right to the basket. Maggette doesn't step in quickly enough, but that's all started by Cota getting by Avery outside.
Nate James now, Dan, comes into the ball game as Maggette leaves with 2. Bursticker can't complete the three-point play.
Tim, you hear people talk about defensive rotation, and that's all it means. You see somebody go and help, you got to go pick up the guy closest to the basket, and Maggette didn't do it. Avery trying the penetration, but Cable did rotate over.
Oh, nice pass to Elijah. Missed the easy shot, but Carolina gets it back.
Tim, that's the kind of a situation where North Carolina, the opportunity break. They have the opportunity to get down the court quickly. They do so. They'd really like to convert those, however.
We had our first look at Cable bringing the ball down and looked a little bit stiff. Here's another turnover for North Carolina. Carrawell to Battier, beyond the arc. Brand with a strong rebound and a putback.
And again, Haywood now gets up off the bench and tells Bill Guthridge he needs to go back in. Guthridge, looking out at the court, says to Haywood, all right, get up, big guy.
Duke by 5. For the Tar Heels.
Brian Bursticker and Chris Lang are both pretty good inside players, but neither one has the strength to battle with Elton Brand. Brand just too powerful, up over top of Lang, despite the presence of Okalaja right there. Brand already in the game has 5 rebounds, and just like that, Eftimov and Haywood both come in the game. Bursticker and Lang sit down.
James with the penetration.
Knocked away by Cable.
It'll still belong to Duke.
You know, this is an interesting move because with Lang out of the game, North Carolina not as good offensively on the inside, but Eftimov probably stronger in terms of his physical abilities on the inside.
Dan, keep in mind, Haywood did not get any breaks in the first half last Saturday night when they played at Chapel Hill, and he really significantly wore down in the second half. Here's Brand with a great move right around Haywood.
Haywood big and strong, but Brand has the advantage in quickness, and Brand, boy, what a nice move that was.
Duke with a 7-point lead. Eftimov on the baseline gets shut off. Okalaja. Followed by Eftimov.
That's what we're talking about with Eftimov. The first time he doesn't have the offensive skills to get his shot, but he's got the ability to park himself underneath, get excellent position, and rebound the ball, stick it back.
Carrawell gets into trouble. Gets it back.
Where did he get that?
Out to Avery for three. Avery with 5 points.
And Duke just lighting it up from beyond the three-pointer.
20-12 Duke.
Elijah really hasn't been able to get going today. Burgess going to pick up the foul on the inside against Haywood. Elijah is such a key player for North Carolina, but Duke has the kind of guys that can get on him and utilize their quickness against him.
Now Brewer checks in for Cota for North Carolina.
Cota is going to need a breather or two as the game goes on.
Showing quickness. Great pass to Cota. And the foul.
It's a blocking foul against Curry. No technical foul on Nate James because Curry was laying on the floor underneath the basket. This is just not a very good inbounds pass. Curry, of course, is the quarterback. He's used to throwing him, not catching him. He fumbles that one. Duke gets it, and they get down the court and draw the foul. That ball just slipped out of Curry's hands. Avery was there to bother the pass, and then Curry not able to get himself set up on defense.
Carrawell makes the first one. He has been one of the most consistent guys on this Duke club, and he's only a 57% free throw shooter. Brand goes out. Battier comes back in for Duke. That's the first point for Carrawell.
What a great 7 minutes and 5 seconds for Elton Brand. He played very well.
This is the second F the ball comes down.
Man for Duke.
April still looks a little stiff to me. Wow, now what a fall he took yesterday to re-injure the back.
Now with Carrawell going, anybody can look stiff.
Here's James.
Good man for North Carolina.
Ball still gets
up over the rim, going after that one, Tim.
Curry looks for Eftemoff. And he dribbled it off his foot. Last touch by Duke.
You expect these two teams to really get after one another, and this is a nice move by James, taking it in, just not able to get it to go. Burgess not able to get the tip to go, and then North Carolina runs out with it. Now matched up against by Carolina. His feet.
Trying to free up Cable with the screen. Can't get it, so now they go inside.
Oh! That's blocked by James. Well, he took that right off Eftemoff's ear.
Kick it out to James. He's got a look. Instead goes inside to Battier. And Battier is fouled by Eftemoff.
Battier showing you some nice post moves here early in the game. That time he had Eftemoff swatting at the ball with a ball fake when Battier was still pivoting to the basket.
Battier with 8 points already. This is the free throw.
Tim, we talked about guys for Duke having to make key plays, and early in the game, Shane Battier has stepped up and made those plays.
Brandon McGetty come back into the ball game. And Cota comes back in with Owens for Carolina. Battier, who's normally a pretty good free throw shooter, 0 for 2. He has 9 points. Well, it's been physical. And the Duke Blue Devils are out and running. You talk about physical play. The big bodies have been banging. Trying to put it into high gear. It's Duke. It's Carolina. And it's always fun. What better way to spend a gorgeous Sunday afternoon than the ACC Championship game in Charlotte? Nations Bank, a corporate partner of the ACC, presents this Salute to Excellence question. The ACC has produced 7 NCAA champions in men's basketball. Of those, only 2 did not win the ACC title. In 1993, UNC lost to Georgia Tech in the ACC, but later won the national championship. Who was the other national champion that did not capture the ACC crown? Stay tuned. We'll have that answer for you before the end of the game.
Shane Battier, a good offensive start. 9 points, 2 3-point field goals for the North Carolina Tar Heels. Not as solid an offensive start as they would have liked. 12 points thus far in the game. 0 for 1 from beyond the 3-point line.
Hayward's shot not even close. But get it. Boy, can he run.
And you think, boy, he's going pretty fast, and then the gear changes and he goes even faster.
Here's James. Takes it in with the left hand. Capable with the rebound.
That's a good job by Haywood to hold his ground in there and force what was a very, very difficult opportunity.
And you make a great point about Carolina yesterday. Got off to that quick start, hit all those threes, and struggling early here.
Now Brand just doing a great job making sure that Haywood doesn't get as close to the basket as Haywood would like to be.
Nate James has a look. This is beyond the arc for 3 more.
Tim, that is the 5th 3-point basket for Duke. They're now 5 of 7 from beyond the 3-point arc. North Carolina, no 3-pointers yet in the game, and it's hard to score a lot of points if you're not going to make some threes.
And it's 25-12 Duke. Owens with a great first step. And he's fouled.
That foul is going to be against James. But Owens continues to be very active offensively. Really looked for his shot yesterday. Had that outstanding game against Maryland. He's back here looking for his shot again today. Owens scored 23 yesterday.
So this is Max Owens. And he hits the first. A reminder to stay tuned at halftime for Bell South's You Call the Play feature. A look at big plays from past ACC games. J.C. Capel goes back out of the ballgame.
Now, Capel came in yesterday in a substitute role and provided a tremendous spark for North Carolina. Hit a couple of 3-point baskets, and you didn't get that kind of spark from him today. So the Tar Heels going to have to find it in another area.
Well, Owens has 6 of North Carolina's first 14.
And now North Carolina back in the zone defense. Trying to slow the Blue Devils down a little bit. Duke starting to get some penetration out on the perimeter. So North Carolina goes to the dome to see if they can force Duke into strictly the outside shot, although the Blue Devils have hit that pretty effectively.
All right, the shot clock down to 8. Avery fires from way outside. Good defense by the Tar Heels that trip.
And that's exactly what the North Carolina defense wants to accomplish. You know, Avery doesn't have to wait until there's 5 seconds left on the shot clock to shoot that one. He can get that a whole lot earlier in the possession. But that's not what Duke's looking for.
They looked inside to Haywood. He wanted the ball, was calling for it. Now they reset.
Brand has been able to keep him out of the lane area. And Haywood, it's a little more difficult for him to shoot that 5-6 foot.
Okalaja throws it away. This is Avery by himself.
Tim, before the game, we talked about transition turnovers, and that is a transition turnover. Duke takes it, and they produce points as a result.
27-14, Duke. Let it alone. Nice pass, too.
Again, you see the value of Ed Cota and his penetration. Draws the defense, they go down to double-team Cota, and what a nice job to get out of the double team and find the open man.
Yeah, that's what he did so well in that first matchup between these two. Drive, draw, and dish. He also had Antonio. Turnover by Duke.
Brand traveling with the basketball. North Carolina back to the zone, or back to the man-to-man. Now, what we mean when we talk about a transition turnover, Okalaja just sort of a lazy pass telegraphed that one, and Avery recognized it, the steal, and you immediately convert it into a fast break.
Here's the turnover situation. The Tar Heels with 5 turnovers already.
They've been 5 costly ones because they've been opportunities for Duke to run down and beat the defense down the court.
Haywood finally gets it after calling for it and gets the roll.
Haywood is capable of making that shot, but he had to work hard for that one. Duke doing a nice job forcing him to make a difficult play.
His first basket, Max Owens will be called for a foul here.
Tim, Carolina in the zone, you don't want somebody to penetrate the zone with the dribble, but Carrawell able to get past the perimeter guys on the zone, and when that happens, the zone is really at a disadvantage.
So Carolina's pulled the lead back to single digits. It's 9 points for Duke. Here's your 6'6" junior Carrawell, and he makes that one.
We also talked before the game about spurts, Tim, and now is the point in the game where North Carolina would really like to make a little spurt to close this lead up.
Brand goes out of the ball game, and Burgess checks back in for Duke.
Rebound! Rebound!
Duke has not been overly effective from the free throw line.
All right, 8.5 minutes to play in the first half, and it's Duke by 10.
3 of 7.
Hayward put it on the floor. Almost had it stolen, but it's knocked out of bounds.
He put it on the floor, and he attracted 4 white shirts just like
hurry.
that. Big guys do not want to be dribbling.
And he is big. 7 feet, 265 pounds.
Ooh, boy.
Almost threw it away again. Owens with a jumper, yes.
But that's the kind of a play that Owens made yesterday. He gets an opportunity, takes advantage of it.
28-20, and they turn it over again. Carolina basketball. So the Tar Heels starting to make a little run here on the Duke Blue Devils.
Man-to-man defense for Duke.
That hook is so dangerous.
And Lang is very quick with him, Tim. He doesn't dribble the basketball. If he catches it in position, he can get that hook up very quickly. And here's that little spurt we were talking about. North Carolina draws closer.
Avery left alone. Lang with the rebound. He has 3 rebounds now, and a pass ahead to Elijah. Left alone beyond the arc. Yes!
Tim, keep in mind, Elton Brand is out of the game. Lang does a great job getting position. He catches the ball ready to shoot. The defense not able to come and get him. And then Okulaja, who hasn't had any open opportunities, in transition gets one. Does a nice job to step back beyond the three-point line before he drills it.
11-1 in the last 2:50 of this ball game. The Tar Heels have turned it up.
Tim, that's exactly what we were talking about. North Carolina making a run at him to draw closer in the game. Now they've got it down to a 3-point lead. There are going to be runs in this game. North Carolina has to hope that they have one of the last ones and that they have more of them.
They double down on Brand.
Back in the zone.
Shot clock at 15. Down to 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Brand with 2 on the shot clock, hits the jumper.
Boy, that's a nice job by Brand to come in behind that zone. Tough, tough play.
Okulaja has a look for 3.
Brand just not as quick with the ball down on the inside as is Lang, so the defense can get to Haywood, a little bit more quickly. Oh, goodness.
Oh, Brand again. He's hit the last 4 in a row for Duke.
People are saying that Elton Brand, the weakness in his game is he can't go out and hit that mid-range jumper, but that was a nice little 15, 16-foot shot.
And he's got 8 points.
Good screen by Avery.
And that's his first bucket. 32-27 with 5:50 to play in the first half.
North Carolina, when they don't turn the ball over and force Duke to play in the half court, they can force Duke to run time off the clock with this zone defense.
Duke is patient, though. The shot clock again down to 10. Here's Brand again.
That's good defense by North Carolina. Good.
Stop the ball. Shot. Cota just threaded the needle, and Heftemoff was all alone. Carrawell at the other end.
Boy, a big turnaround right there. The 2 North Carolina ought to have had, but didn't get, and now Carrawell makes them pay for it. You saw Phil Ford sitting on the bench. That's the way a lot of the North Carolina folks feel.
Cota.
A good block by Burgess.
This is a 6-2 Duke run. Avery from behind the arc. Yes!
And that was with Cota right in his face. Boy, they're explosive.
9-2 Duke run. Carolina sent shell shots and tipped them off, missed that layup. And this will belong to Duke. Obvious concern from Bill Guthridge. 4:20 to play in the first half.
North Carolina had the lead down to 3. Now Duke back out to 13. And what I want you to do is watch Jason Capel right here as this play develops, and watch Shane Battier. We've talked about the effect that penetration has on a defense. As Avery brings the ball in, all 3 of the low guys in the zone, 1, 2, 3, they go to Avery. And Battier is able to step in front of Capel, who does not rotate down. And as a result, Battier gets the ball inside, gets the basket, gets the foul, and that's the kind of reaction you'd expect from William Avery with a play like that.
Pretty good run by Duke right now. 12-2 over the last 3 minutes.
It's really been the story of Brand and Battier for Duke.
Nice pass inside Okalaja for the reverse layup.
Second field goal of the game for Okalaja.
James from way outside. Brand with the foul.
Tim, that was a great job by Brand to get himself set up in rebound position, a pretty good distance from the basket, recognizing that a long rebound might result from the three-point basket. And they've really had some success at the Tar Heels getting the ball to Lang inside in that position.
His hook is virtually unstoppable. When he's on, look out.
If he can catch it where he wants to, and he can shoot with the right hand, he is awfully effective in it.
Back inside, they go to Brand. Move inside. He's fouled.
Tim, rebounding position doesn't necessarily mean you have to be right on top of the basket. Elton Brand in this particular situation is a good 8 feet from the basket, but he's got good inside position. The ball comes right to him. Now he's got 7 rebounds.
So Bursticker called for the foul. Haywood ready to check back in for Carolina. And Brand at the line. Leads the ACC in scoring, field goal percentage, rebounding. Bursticker goes out. What a season Brand has had. He had 19 points and 12 rebounds against NC State in the semis. He's got 11 here today. For Brand, is working on his 17th double-double of the year. Inside to Haywood again. Again, he's all over. He was. Boy, they come down, they double down on him and actually triple team him. And he shuffled his feet.
Tim, we mentioned that Haywood is just not as quick with the ball as Lang. The ball goes in here, and he is surrounded. Now, he catches it, and he's got to collect himself. Lang doesn't collect himself down there. Lang just catches the ball ready to go, but because Haywood has to collect himself and dribble, the defense can get to him.
See the turnover situation, and they've been more harmful to the Tar Heels.
That's a great catch by Brand.
Shot clock down to 10 again. Carrawell. How sweet is that? He now has 6 points. 46-31, and you feel this game is starting to get away from Carolina. Called this on Carrawell.
Tim, and they just had that, it seems like a minute ago that they were on that 11-1 run where they took a 13-point lead and cut it back to 3, and then Duke has just exploded. We talked about spurts. Well, Duke has had a heck of a spurt here in the last 4 or 5 minutes of this half.
Jason Capel goes back out of the ball game as Max Owens checks back in for the Tar Heels.
really pushing against Haywood.
I'm surprised it took that long to call. I think Haywood is too.
Well, Haywood is such a big guy. He's a hard guy to push, and so
watch this.
There's no give here for Haywood. There's Haywood with the butt, Brand with the shoulder. Now everybody thought that maybe Brand should have been called for the foul. But finally, Haywood has enough give that he falls down. That's a big man in there. He's hard to push down.
Owens is fouled by Carrawell again. Carrawell picks up 2 quick ones here.
Mike Krzyzewski telling him from the bench that he's got those 2 personal fouls.
.154 to play in the first half. 46-31 Duke. Max Owens cuts into that slightly. He was 11 for 12 at the line yesterday.
Trajan Langdon watching the proceedings. He will not play in this game with that injured foot, but Duke hasn't missed him thus far. Now we got a long way to go.
Similar situation last Saturday night. Chapel Hill and Battier sat out the whole game, and everybody else seemed to elevate their games.
North Carolina back into the zone.
Avery for 3. Yes.
Boy, does he have some range. My goodness, maybe it's just the Coliseum that it's such a big venue, but it looks like he's shooting from press row.
Okalaja behind the arc. Well, right now it's all Duke.
Yeah, nice play.
Carolina's got numbers. And don't capitalize. Owens loses it out of bounds. They had a 3-on-2, but it's 8 turnovers now for North Carolina.
You can't take the ball in that deep. You've got to stay out by the free throw line to make that pass in the 3-on-2 or 3-on-1 situation. You get down that close to the basket, one guy can guard 2 or 3, and that's what happens.
Well, that's the first foul on Lang. But Duke will be shooting 1-on-1 now.
And Battier has been very aggressive with the basketball, and he saw that Lang was matched up against him out on the perimeter, decided to use his quickness to get around. Battier's got 12 points in the first half.
Rattles that one around, and Lang gets the rebound.
Battier 2-5 from the line, and that's been the one hole in the Duke offense today. They haven't shot free throws very well.
Under a minute to play in the first half of the championship game in Charlotte. Okalaja. Turnaround jumper, banks it in.
That's just a tremendous offensive move right there. Really nothing there. Pretty good defense by Duke.
Almost like a jump hook, and he used his body to keep the defender away. You're right.
Shot clock is off.
20 seconds to play in the half. Blue Devils playing for the final shot. Unlike last Saturday night when it was a 35-33 halftime score, this has been Duke in control. Dangerous pass back to Battier. Down to 3 seconds. Ball still loose. This one's good if it goes. And that'll do it. So the first half of the championship game is controlled by Duke. It's the Blue Devils 49, the Tar Heels 35. A well-played, physical first half. When we come back, Mike Hogwood will have the halftime activities.
Not playing in the game. Shane Battier 2 for 3 beyond the arc. He's got 12 points. Brand has 12 points. Avery has 13 points. And for North Carolina, Tim, they shot 52% in the first half, and they're behind by 14.
Duke starts Carrawell and Avery and Brand and Battier and Maggetti, and here's Brand. Yes, starting out the second half the way he played in the first half.
Just powers the ball inside. North Carolina with only 3 offensive rebounds in the first half. But of course, they made 50% of their shots, Tim, so there wasn't all that many offensive rebounds to be had.
Elton Brand with 14 points now. They go inside to Haywood. Kick it out to Owens, beyond the arc. Battier with a rebound. Talk about running, they're doing it. Here's Maggetti. Yes! Maggetti shaking up a little bit. He's back, he's running, and gets back on defense. Carrawell picks it off. Carrawell is fouled. That might be intentional.
It's not going to be intentional, but they do rule that it's in the act of shooting. We talked about transition turnovers. Duke with 14 points off turnovers in the first half. That is an extremely difficult pass to throw, and Carrawell does a nice job getting out and drawing the foul.
Mike Krzyzewski talking to Larry Rose, saying he didn't go for the ball. Carrawell goes to the line nonetheless, shooting 2.
Mike Krzyzewski would be pressing that point much harder in a closer game.
Oh, you bet. So here's Carrawell. He's a 57% free throw shooter. He's hit 54 of his 95 attempts this year.
Carrawell really has become a very fine offensive player. Speaking of fine offensive player, there's Jason Capel sitting on the North Carolina bench. He has not been the factor that he was in the game against Maryland. Hadn't scored.
Brand with another rebound.
Nice
Back
pass.
to Brand. It's all Duke right now. Brand with 16 points, and it's 56-35 Blue Devils. Owens.
And Lang is going to get called for the foul. Owens, who's been making that shot for 3 consecutive halves, hasn't been able to get it to go in this second half thus far. Battier does a nice job again, drawing the defense when Haywood has to step toward Battier. Nobody rotates down to get Brand, and he's all alone for the dunk. Boy, Battier has had a fine game.
So Lang picks up the foul. That'll be his second personal.
North Carolina back to the zone.
Carrawell left alone in the corner. And Okulaja knocks it out of bounds. Everything going Duke's way right now.
Brand did a great job getting himself in position for that rebound. That rebound was easily Okulaja's, except Brand got himself there and contested it.
Avery for 3 more.
He's got 4 3-point baskets in the game. Duke as a team now just really lighten it up. 8 for 15 are the Blue Devils from beyond the 3-point arc.
Boy, I mean, Avery from out there is just bottoms. Okulaja.
Oh, and they're going to call a foul on Brand, and they're going to say that Brand pushed Haywood into Okulaja.
That's the second on Brand.
Brandon and Haywood really have been pushing hard at one another, and Brandon is trying to block him out, and that is a very good call.
You're not going to shoot that.
Brand knows it.
I'm telling you, folks, a couple of heavyweights right there, about 265, 270.
Can you imagine the strength that it would take to move Haywood?
I got this.
How about a pickup truck?
Well, there's one with 4 and 2 on it that's doing a pretty good job.
Carolina really needs to get something going. Owens is trying to.
The Duke defense was concerned at halftime about dribble penetration, and that time they did a nice job cutting off the dribble, but the penetration with the pass having the same effect, and his faces on the North Carolina bench don't look too happy.
No, and Chris Carrawell picks up his 3rd, although with this lead, I'm not sure that's significant, but certainly something Coach K will keep an eye on. That's Owens with that free throw, makes Carolina's first point of the half, and he makes them both. He now has 12 points.
We started the second half with a 10-0 run after closing the first half at 17-8.
Duke's still showing a lot of patience, and they can afford to.
Nice job by Haywood.
Maggette shot rolls around, comes out. Here's Haywood. Cota to Owens for 3. Yes! That'll help.
If North Carolina has the firepower that they can get back in the game, I think Max Owens is a guy they've got to look to make that 3-point shot, and he has certainly done so in this tournament.
Cuts the lead back to 19.
Really conscious of Brand down on the inside.
Ball's loose again, and Avery gets it. Avery from way outside. Air ball this time. Actually may have caught part of the backboard, but went over the basket. Owens is fouled again. This time it's Battier.
And Owens has become the most active offensive player for North Carolina, doing a nice job getting himself in scoring position.
Well, you're right too, partner, and he stepped up and they need it.
Owens has 15 in the game.
And he makes again from the free throw line. So he's 7 for 7 today. He was 11 for 12 yesterday at the charity stripe. Nate James checks in for Maggette. Boy, he's like a machine at the line.
North Carolina climbing back in a little bit. Tar Heel Partisans trying to help their team on the defensive end. North Carolina in the zone.
Battier on the baseline. Nowhere to go with Haywood there. Penetration by Avery and a tough shot. Great hustle by Carrawell, but he can't save it. Took it right away from Okalaja, beat him to the ball, but then lost it out of bounds.
Mike Krzyzewski telling Avery to take the ball to the basket and pass the thing. That was a very, very difficult shot. Tough pass.
Here's Cota left all alone. That's for 3. Carolina putting together a run of its own.
Well, now they've chopped that lead back to 14. That was our halftime lead.
A 7-0 Tar Heel run.
North Carolina stays in the zone. Duke hadn't been able to get out and get going in the last couple of minutes.
Here's Battier left alone. And that one goes over the backboard, so Carolina ball. 15-19 to play in the championship game in Charlotte. It's been an emotional game. Blue Devil fans getting everything they want. And the Carolina fans still hoping. Right now, it's a pretty good Carolina run. 59-45 Duke. 59-45 Duke. 15-19 to play in the championship game of the Atlantic Coast Conference. Well, the half started, Dan, with a 10-0 Duke run, and then UNC came back with one.
That was a very important scoring run by North Carolina because they were about to be totally blown out of the box here.
In that 10-0 Tar Heel scoring run, Owens had 7 points. Got 17 for the game.
The key to that is that to the scoring run is not only Owens' 7 points, but the fact that Duke hasn't really done a very good job against the North Carolina zone for the last few minutes.
A lot of movement now offensively for the Tar Heels. See if Okalaja can capitalize, and he does.
So now it's up to 12-0 run, and North Carolina not able to get back and set to the defense.
And they cut the lead to 12.
Oh, very nearly a steal by Owens.
James down to Battier, has it batted away. Good job by Owens keeping the ball alive. Inside to Haywood. Turnaround jump shot is good. 10-point game.
Tim, that was as quick as Haywood has been with the ball in this game. See the defensive intensity picking up by North Carolina.
Inside to Brand. He certainly has had the answers. They'll call this on Haywood.
Tim, Brendan Haywood, let's take a look at him right here. He's going to move right down into this area, and then he's going to set up quickly. And the difference between this time and the other times is he catches the ball all right in the shooting motion. Doesn't allow the double team to get there. So Duke breaks the North Carolina run.
Haywood has 3 personals. 13:58 to play. Has a whole lot of changes now. Eftemoff, Haywood, Owens, they all go out of the ball game. Lang comes back in. He'll have to be a scorer along with Capel and Bursticker. Cota and Okalaja stay in the game. Brand makes it a 61-49 game.
Now, North Carolina's gotten themselves back in the game, Tim. We've got plenty of time left in the game. It's only 12 points, but North Carolina doing a real quick recovery from that 24-point deficit. Nice job by Avery. Cota just can't get it on.
Eftemoff has it blocked by Brand. Cota gets it back. Ball still loose. And Okalaja scores.
Bill Guthridge talked about that at halftime, that he wanted better offensive rebounding, and they got it there. Duke not able to control it.
We've got a 10-point game with 13:15 to play. Brand.
Bursticker is simply not strong enough in there to keep Brand from going to the spot that Brand wants to.
Talk about a power move. Every trip now is so important for Carolina.
That was not a good shot by Okalaja, trying to make something happen, but it just wasn't there.
Transition, reverse layup. Oh, I thought Burgess had it, but he'll go to the line to shoot two.
And North Carolina, for one of the few times today, a little slow getting back on defense. Duke has gotten some transition baskets on steals, but very few times have we seen them get the ball off the rim and run down the court.
Foul was on Lang. That's his third. And there is some foul trouble now.
Lang's got 3, Haywood's got 3, and so Duke really doing a nice job keeping the pressure on those inside guys.
Oh, my. Oh, my. Guarantee you they'll let him remember that one all through the summer pickup games.
Burgess is a guy that really doesn't have a lot of confidence at the free throw line. He made his first 5 free throws of this tournament, then missed a couple, and that was really a struggle there.
He's only a 57% free throw shooter for the season. And he gets, well, that one comes back out.
He gets the kind of a roll that a 56% free throw shooter usually gets.
But an air ball in a championship game is not forgotten very easily.
And now Burgess picks up the foul.
He's frustrated. Look at the expression on his face. You know that pain. Still 12.5 minutes to play.
And North Carolina still within 12. Duke may have lost a little intensity, Tim, when they built that 24-point lead. It's just too easy.
Oh, great hands by Cota to Eftemoff. What a save by Cota.
Cota really bailed him out. Owens trying to make a play that just wasn't there.
Avery has it blocked by Owens, and he's called for the foul.
That is what the Duke coaching staff wants from William Avery, to take the ball aggressively into the middle. Owens would have gotten the block shot, Tim, except he brought his arm down across Avery's body.
Avery now has 17 points. We said he would be one of the keys. He certainly has lived up to that.
He's done an outstanding job from beyond the three-point line.
Yeah, it really has. He makes them both. So 18 points for Avery, and Duke pushes the lead back up to 65-53. It was a 14-point Duke halftime lead.
Capel just has really not been a factor offensively.
He's having a tough time moving. To Eftemoff by accident.
Battier stepping in, trying to take the charge. That left Eftemoff open. North Carolina doing a nice job continuing to score. Duke not able to stretch that lead out past 12.
Here's Avery from long range. Owens is just playing a spectacular ball game.
And now North Carolina has a chance to cut the lead under double digits.
Cota with the penetration. Under 11 minutes to play. And again, Owens comes up with it.
Duke is really settling for those perimeter shots. There's not quite the energy in the Duke offensive game that we saw earlier.
So the lead is 10, and the Carolina fans come to their feet. Hayward with the turnaround. They wanted a foul. They get one. It'll be on Burgess. And that's 3 on the big guy.
Obviously, North Carolina wants to have Haywood a more important part of the offense. They've really gone to him in the second half, and thus far he's responded.
10:28 to play in the ball game.
You're trying to come back. You need to take advantage of every opportunity you receive. Haywood, 68% free throw shooter on the year.
And you're right. Every free throw especially is critical. Gets the Duke lead back down to single digits. 9-point lead. Been a pretty good run by Carolina. Look at Cota from outside. Then they go inside. They got a lot of rebounding and some steals as well. Haywood is fired up. All of a sudden, Carolina's back in it. Tough to get a ticket in here this afternoon. I will guarantee you that. 23,000 fans, and the lead is down to 9.
And Duke has missed 7 of its last 8 shots. The North Carolina zone defense really forcing Duke to the perimeter, and the Blue Devils simply not converting from beyond the 3-point arc in this half the way they did in the first half.
Avery on the baseline. Boy,
tough shot.
He is really quick.
He does a great job getting to the basket, Tim, and can convert once he arrives.
He has 20 points.
Duke stays in the man-to-man defense, really trying hard to keep the ball from Lang inside. Battier trying to prevent Lang from setting up that little hook shot. And
They say that he stepped out of bounds.
Yes.
Wow.
Adi, that's exactly the way it's done. Battier's trying to keep Lang from catching that ball in a position where Lang can just turn and shoot it, and the whistle blows right there because Okalaji steps out of bounds. Lang has not scored in the second half. He scored 10 in the first half, but hadn't scratched in this half.
Carolina really had a tough time with the ball offensively their last trip. Not only did they step out of bounds, they had very little movement, and Cota's called for a foul.
And now North Carolina's in a bit of a danger zone. The first foul against Ed Cota, but they have worked so hard to get back in the game. And Bill Guthrie's troops, Duke has just scored a basket. Now Duke has an opportunity to add to the lead from the free throw line. North Carolina doesn't want to let up. They have to continue to score on the offensive end to stay close to Duke.
Time now becomes a factor with 9.5 minutes left in the game. You can't afford to have Duke off of another one of those runs.
And the only way you stop a run is to score.
See the numbers on Carrawell, and he makes them both. So Carrawell extends the Duke Blue Devil lead with 9:30 to play. Carrawell now with 9 points, and they've been quiet points. Pass to Cota, back to Lang, it's good.
Very fine back screen against Battier. 10 assists now for Cota.
Brand wants to take it himself and travels.
This is a great job by Haywood to set the back screen against Lang. Battier really trying to stay close to Lang, and so set himself up for that back screen, and Haywood just picked him off.
Pass inside to Haywood. Again, he gooses the ball, and Battier takes it away. Haywood with that bad habit of bringing it down. Duke's going to try to make him pay. For three more.
That's as much as you can pay right there. Great rebound by Elton Brand.
William Avery has 23 points.
And after all that work by North Carolina, the lead right now is exactly the same as it was at halftime.
Boy, Okolaj's shot not even close. That looked like tired legs.
In each of the first two ball games, Duke had a second half explosion that put the game away.
Farewell from beyond the arc.
I don't know that that's the shot that Duke wanted in that particular situation. They've been having some success driving the ball into the middle of that defense.
Owens has been quiet the last 2 minutes. Fires and the putback by Okolaja.
Just jumped right over Nate James.
Ademola now has 13 points.
Everybody looks like they're dragging a little bit right at the moment, Tim.
And it's been a very physical game, as you mentioned, up-tempo.
Boy, Haywood just picked up his fourth foul. North Carolina back into man-to-man, and Haywood just laying all over Elton Brand.
So with 7:36 to play, it's a 12-point game, and Brand is going to the line. It has been extremely physical. Elton Brand, the 6'8" sophomore from Peekskill, New York, working on his 17th double-double.
Tim, and as you watch these guys go to the bench, you can see how hard they're breathing. Everybody really playing with great intensity in this ball game.
21 now for Brand.
And of course, you would expect that. These two teams are quite the rivals, and this is the championship of the ACC tournament.
And Brand gets the roll again. So they push the lead back up to exactly what it was at the half.
Duke with the 14-point lead once again. You want to know why Elton Brand's such a good rebounder? Here's a transition opportunity. There are the Tar Heels. Here's Elton Brand. He's ahead of the pack. And as they go down the court, rebounding is part hustle, part instinct, and part hard work. Now, Brand, look at Elton Brand right here. He slid behind the defender who's got to go out and cover the shooter. Now, Brand is simply going to go back in here and get himself great position. So when the shot goes off, Brand is available for the rebound. That rebound turns into 3 points for the Duke Blue Devils. And that's how you get so many doggone double-doubles in the year, Tim. Just a great play by Elton Brand.
And you see the numbers against Haywood, and this is not unusual. Duke leads the nation in scoring margin, and second in the country in field goal percentage.
Well, Brand has obviously dominated that matchup on the inside, and there is a 5-second violation called against Ed Cota. William Avery, again, doing a great job preventing the dribble penetration. That's 12 turnovers now for North Carolina. And one of the greatest point guards of all time is left to be scratching his chin.
Here's McGetty to Carroll to Avery as they continue to move the ball around the perimeter. Inside again, they go to Brand. Nobody can stop it.
What power on that catch.
24 points for Brand. They just can't stop him. Cota to Eftimov. And he's fouled.
That's excellent recognition by Ed Cota. Duke did not do a good job on the screen outside. Eftimov sets the screen. Then you have another screen on the inside. That was Curry in there blocking out Brand, so he couldn't get back to Eftimov. And a nice play by Ed Cota to find Eftimov underneath.
Well, there you go. It's a new tournament record. Now,
11 assists in this game.
Haywood comes in. Bursticker goes out of the ballgame for Carolina.
Drew Barry was the former holder of the career ACC Tournament assist record.
McGetty's been quiet in this game since the very beginning, although he was the one that got him off to a quick start yesterday. Here he is. Well, he heard us.
He heard you.
I mean, just put it down, big fella. 3 more from the spectacular freshman. draws iron, and Brand with another big rebound, and he is so big and strong. He's got 11 rebounds, Dan.
Just a great block out against Haywood. And again, we said rebounding, an awful lot of it has to do with instinct. You get that long shot, and Brand does a great job getting away from the basket in anticipation of the long rebound.
Duke now will start using a little bit more clock as they spread the floor. They can smell the title, feel the title. Avery in the paint.
Oh, Brand almost got that one, boy.
He battled Eftimov all the way to the floor, didn't he?
He actually hit it with both hands before Eftimov was able to control it.
Inside to Haywood to Eftimov. Blocked and touched last by Eftimov.
Carrawell blocked the shot from behind. I don't know that Eftimov ever saw it.
Yesterday was Carolina's most dominant and consistent performance since the Tar Heels beat Florida State by 30 back early in February. But obviously it took a lot out of the Tar Heels. Physically, right now they look tired.
Carolina in the man-to-man. Duke very content to run some time off the clock before attack. Again, they're looking to take the ball to the goal.
Carrawell is fouled.
And that's on Curry. That's a good move by Carrawell. Curry has quickness, and he's a very strong young man, but he's not nearly as tall as Carrawell. Carrawell can get the ball down there. He can shoot over top. Quinn Snyder, Mike Krzyzewski, Johnny Dawkins, David Henderson from your left to right. Outstanding coaching staff.
Mike Krzyzewski looked a little bit sore when he walked in today.
Well, he's got that hip replacement surgery scheduled for the 15th of April.
Yeah, as soon as the season is over, there's been a lot of talk about that, obviously, and I think Mike's anxious to get it done. Carrawell off the front of the rim. 80-62 Duke. We've got 4:53 to play. Cota's three-pointer comes up short, but Carolina will get it back.
Now, Cota is not normally a guy who's going to be real effective shooting the three just right off the dribble like that. Cota does a nice job from three-point range, but generally he's got to be open and get his feet set before he's very effective.
North Carolina's won 10 of the last 14 games between these two clubs, but Duke won both regular season games and in control here.
Maggette gets called for the foul. Curry trying to use that quickness and beat Maggette to the basket. 17 fouls against Duke, so North Carolina will get an opportunity to close the gap a little bit from the free throw line.
You know, there's no question Ronald Curry has a lot of talent, but he really had a tough time adjusting from football, and the Tar Heels going to that bowl game even delayed his progress more. Makes that free throw. That's just his 20th free throw that he's made this year. Made 20 of 33.
Cota going to take a breather. He has really not had very many of those. In fact, this is the first time Cota's been out in the second half.
(80-64) Duke with 4.5 minutes to play.
Well, we're talking about guys who are Iron Men. Avery has played every minute of this game, Tim. He's got 23 points. He's got 5 assists. He's only got 2 turnovers.
And still calling for the ball.
Duke spread the court, running a little bit of clock.
14 on the shot clock now. Avery still directing traffic from afar as Carrawell takes it to the baseline. We're down to 7 on the shot clock. Back to Avery. Off balance, follows his own shot. How about that from William Avery?
Boy, that's a quick bounce back up after missing the shot.
And a terrific 25 points.
Nice job by
Curry.
Curry
Takes it on the baseline and scores.
Bill Guthridge trying to tell his guys to get up and play Duke in the full court. The problem with that is Duke has such good quickness out there with Avery that give him some room, he's going to go right by.
Yeah, he takes it right in all the way.
Okalaja can't guard him out there.
Corey Maggette is so talented, Dan. He is phenomenal.
There's that hook shot by Lang, but a little further from the basket. He's about 3 feet out of his range with that hook shot. Now the folks are starting to go home.
84-66 Duke with just over 3 minutes to play. Carrawell right to the the basket, has it blocked.
Excellent defensive play.
Owens wants the three, takes it, hits it. That helps. He now has 20.
Really working hard, trying to keep Avery from getting by. But look, Avery just almost with ease gets the head and shoulders by and then pulls it back out, trying to run the clock.
15 points with 2.5 minutes to play.
Shot clock at 13, not 12. There you go, shot clock in the left-hand corner.
Carrawell. And he throws it away. Tried to get it to Brand. One too many passes. So 2:15 to play. Mike Krzyzewski very much in this ball game, directing traffic. Avery with 25 points. And the Tar Heels of Carolina just trying to stay in it emotionally. Another look at our Nations Bank ACC Salute to Excellence question. The ACC has produced 7 NCAA champions in men's basketball. Of those, only 2 did not win the ACC title. We told you in '93, UNC lost to Georgia Tech, but later won the national championship. Who was the other national champion that did not capture the ACC crown? And the answer is, in 1991, Duke lost to North Carolina 96-74 in the ACC title game and then won the national championship just 3 weeks later. Approaching the 2-minute mark in the 1999 championship game as Owens adds 2 more. He now has 22 points. All 5 Duke starters in double figures as they take a 20-second timeout, Dan.
Of course, what you're looking for now is you're trying to manage the clock. Get the clock stopped so you can get your defense set. Curry coming back in the game so he can use his quickness. North Carolina looking for the steals, and if they don't get the steals, they've got to foul immediately.
You know, these two teams have met 3 other times in championship games here in Charlotte. So we now take you back to the window of time. North Carolina won their 3rd straight ACC title in '69 behind Charlie Scott, who scored 40 points in an 85-74 win. They didn't meet again in the championship game until the Queen City until 1991. The Tar Heels winning with help from Rick Fox's 25 points. And in 1992, Duke got the win with Grant Hill and Christian Laettner leading the way as the Blue Devils became the 5th ACC champion to go on to win the national title.
Duke gets the ball in bounds, and when Maggette has it, it's almost a redundancy to say they quickly get it into the front court.
Boy, I tell you what, Kentucky just seems to hit its stride this time of year.
I'm telling you, this time of year, if you're going to kill Kentucky, you better make sure you drive that stake deep into the heart, because those guys are a talented basketball team.
Of course, the selection show a little bit later today. They'll announce the 64-team field, and once again, as always, you know, the first 56, 57 are pretty easy. It's those last couple that are very difficult. ACC with just 3, Dan, do you think?
Well, North Carolina, obviously Duke and Maryland in for sure. The question is about North Carolina State and Wake Forest. There were some upsets yesterday afternoon in various conference tournaments, and I think it's going to make it very difficult for the ACC to get a 4th team.
Kick it outside to Curry, and he shoots for 3. A Duke with a win here in the championship game locks up a #1 seed. Stay in the East.
Boy, that's a tough call. You know, Duke is certainly the #1 team in the country right now, but the University of Connecticut was #1 for a lot of the season. Connecticut finished very strongly, winning the Big East tournament. That's going to be a big decision for the tournament committee as to whether Duke or Connecticut gets that #1 seed in the East.
The announcers for this game are selected and compensated by Raycom and Jefferson Pilot Sports. Any use of this broadcast without their express permission is prohibited.
Battier misses the free throw. There is some opinion out there that possibly UConn will get the #1 seed in the East and Duke will get the #1 seed in the South.
And it's not for ticket sales. Those venues are sold out. But the committee does like to keep teams in the geographical area of interest.
Well, you could make the argument that North Carolina, the state of North Carolina, where Duke finds its home, is in the South.
Owens from beyond the arc. And Battier gets it back. We're down to 1.5 minutes. Duke is trying to combine the ACC regular season title with the tournament title, and it looks like they will. Avery is fouled and will go to the line, and what a spectacular game William Avery has played this afternoon. 1:26 to play in the ball game. The announcers for this game selected and compensated by Raycom and Jefferson Pilot Sports. Any use of this broadcast without their express permission is prohibited.
A pensive Phil Ford can do nothing now but look on.
Well, Carolina helped themselves in the seeding, I think, yesterday with that big win over Maryland. Best two halves they've put together in a long time.
Oh, big rebound.
Duke is about to go to 32-1. Wow. Carrawell, exclamation point.
Now, Tim, and they're going to get very close to their average on the year. They average 93 points a game.
The final minute from Charlotte. It's a moot point now. Carrawell, Avery, yes.
And Mike Krzyzewski calling timeout to get his subs in the game. And you can see, did this tournament title mean anything to the Duke Blue Devils? I think so.
Folks, they are on their feet. Giving high praise to the top team in the nation. What a season this has been. And the Blue Devils of Duke continue to roll.
Elton Brand's family looking on, very pleased. Boy, what a game he had.
This will be the 19th win for Duke against ACC competition this year. Eptemoff loses it on the floor. Scramble for the ball. And Duke gets it back. Here's Simpson. Simpson takes a shot to the head. Unintentional. I don't think Orlando Melendez meant to hit him. He was just slapping for the ball.
That doesn't make Simpson feel any better. No, Melendez going after the ball. Newby really swatting at Taman Domzalski, and Domzalski doing everything he can to get rid of the ball, and Simpson just happened to turn right into Melendez.
We saw one of those shots yesterday that Gainey took from Brand. So J.D. Simpson goes to the line. He's 2 for 8 for the season.
He's still blinking out there, trying to make sure he can see all the way to the basket.
He got some minutes yesterday against NC State.
Actually, as an indication of the dominance of Duke in this tournament, all these guys who are in now have played in all 3 ACC tournament games.
Boy, it has been a dominant year, hasn't it, for Duke?
So in every ACC tournament game, Duke has been able to clear its bench.
Eptemoff makes the basket. Bill Guthridge immediately calls a 20-second timeout, and the Duke fans start to boo that. 27.3 seconds remain. 94-73 Blue Devils in a dominant performance.
And Tim, a dominant performance not only today, but throughout this ACC tournament. They just took Virginia apart on Thursday. They had Friday off. They had a bit of a struggle with North Carolina State yesterday. The Wolfpack playing really well, rebounded the ball very well, a very physical kind of game. But Duke has really turned it on.
Duke can't get the ball inbound, so they call a timeout rather than a 5-second call, and that draws boos from the other side.
Well, North Carolina called that timeout so they could make it difficult to get the ball inbounds.
We'll return after these messages from the Atlantic Coast Conference. Dejection on the Carolina bench. There were high hopes coming into this ball game that they would be able to unseat the #1 team in the country, but it hadn't happened. Duke got out to a 12-2 run to take a 25-12 lead at the beginning of this game, and Duke cut that to 28-25, but then the Blue Devils ended the half on a 17-8 spurt.
You know, when you got a quarterback who can take the ball out of bounds, you're in business.
And Simpson finds himself in the box scores of the ACC Championship game. Last 18 seconds.
Yeah, but the North North Carolina Tar Heels certainly dejected. They have been defeated 3 times this season by their arch rivals, but now they'll go home, sit around, watch the TV, and find out where they're going to play next week.
Eftimov throws it up at the buzzer, and that'll do it. The Blue Devils of Duke win the 1999 ACC Tournament Championship, 96-73.